What is your name, what are your pronouns, and what are you going to talk about today?
Hi, my name's Lilly. I'm a member of the Daydream Detectives. We're a DID system. Our pronouns are they, them collectively, man, she, they.
So could you give us 101 into what DID is?
DID is dissociative identity disorder. It's found in childhood before the ages of 9. It's found from repeated trauma. It can be mental, sexual, physical, any trauma, and unavailable parents. It's when your brain forms amnesic barriers, and at the age of 9, it's meant to all form one singular personality, but in the case of DID, it doesn't. There's multiple different theories. That's just one of them. That's the one that I'm most familiar with. I can't say on the others.
So could you give us a brief description of what DID has meant for you?
The Hearst found out in 2021 that she was a system. So we've had multiple system friends for a couple of years. Since we started university in 2018, we'd been interested in it. We followed Dissociated on YouTube, then did our own research. And when our gatekeeper deemed it was necessary and able to be told to our host, he decided to front in front of one of our system friends, and they kind of picked up on it, and then it started from there. We started with 5, and now we've got 21.
Could you go into a little bit more detail about the terms you mentioned, like gatekeeper?
Within the system, you've got 1,000 different roles. Personally, I'm the new host and external helper. I came around, I split off, which means one alter was having a hard time, and basically they split. And I'm the result of that. I split off Polly, which is our sexual protector. Originally was an external helper to help with children and around the house while the system was going through a quite tough time. But I've ended up being host now. So you've got emotional protector, you've got primary protector, gatekeepers, they control who's able to front, who's not able to front, and if say little was to front in a bad situation, they would be able to remove them from the front. And there's all sorts of different roles.
Could you talk a bit more about the disconnect between the body and how that sort of differentiates between alters?
Obviously, I'm a female. Obviously, like I say, my pronouns are she, they. But we do have guys in the system, and we have a female body. And as you can imagine, a guy in a female body has to deal with female things and female anatomy. And the depersonalisation of that really sucks. And gender dysphoria, when the guys are out and if they're really feeling really dysphoric, we try and get baggy clothes on. We've got caps we wear. Obviously, they know what's going on. We can't change our body. And some systems who are predominantly male alters in female bodies do go on testosterone to change the bodies.
Why might someone be self-diagnosed?
So self-diagnosis is quite prevalent in the DID community. We've tried to get diagnosed. We've gone to the doctor and said, hey, we're doing this. And they're like, huh? What's that? You need a 2-hour assessment and they don't call you. Obviously, even if we're trying to get diagnosed, we're still not being diagnosed, and it's still a lengthy process. Usually why self-diagnosis happens is they don't have access to the means to be diagnosed.
How did DID affect you growing up?
In our collective memory, we can maybe remember 5 or 6 certain things, like our year 6 play we can remember, the birth of our sister, and the excitement of going to school. Apart from that, we generally can't remember much. DID comes with severe amnesia, and different alters can have different memories from this world. I don't remember anything of my own accord from before I came about, but I have collective memory. We can all share the collective memory. That's how you go about masking.
How do you feel that the media represents DID?
The media doesn't represent DID. Even the latest representation in the media was Moon Knight. I personally thought it was a good-ish representation until the 4th or 5th episode, but it does portray switches quite well. But apart from that, there is no definite media representation in like TV, film. There is obviously representation and lived experiences on YouTube and Discord and TikTok and Twitter and Instagram. And I would always say go for peer-reviewed, like you researching for uni. We use Google Scholar a lot. There's DID.org, that's a reputable one, and obviously our foundation one.
Have you felt you've been marginalised or stereotyped due to having DID?
Oh yes. So, in back end of 21, beginning of this year maybe, our friend was arrested, and that set our system off on a spiral downwards. Our then host was not fronting, feeling very suicidal, very like just done with the world, and we reached out to help from uni because it was like we know they do therapy and stuff, and we was trying to get like help anyway from the doctors. That was taking ages, so we thought, right, we'll reach out. Filled in all the forms necessary, and they came back and said, you're too complex, we can't help you. They gave us a phone line, and they said the same thing.
Is there any stereotypes more broadly that you maybe want to do some myth busting about?
You've all seen Split, and then you got the evil alter. That doesn't happen. We don't change our body shapes. We don't change faces when we switch. We might have a different way of holding the body, but we don't literally change body shape. That's a very dramatic dramatisation for the movies, and people need to remember that. Systems are more likely to be abused and do the abusing. Traumatise people all in one body. Alters with bad coping mechanisms are always more likely to harm the body than other people. There is no such thing as an evil alter. You might get a very grumpy alter, but you're not going to get an evil alter that's going to intentionally go out to harm somebody. There's also the fact that DID is rare. Global prevalence as 1.5%. Bearing in mind that's the diagnosed DID. So that's 268,500,000 people. And it's also accepted there can be up to 3% of people with DID. Obviously, that's like everybody that's self-diagnosed and stuff. So that's a hell of a lot of people. And you could walk past somebody you wouldn't know they have DID. It's not rare. It's, in fact, more common than mean ginger. And another myth is alters have to fuse to be better. They don't. So I think the success rate for final fusion is only 12%. And one of the bigger names in the community, Multiplicity and Me, they've just achieved final fusion, which it was right for that system. Fantastic, well done to them. But it's not right for every system.
How could the uni as an institution do better for people with DID?
Educate yourselves, that's all I can say. There is many good, reliable websites. We have our own. We have the Multidimensional Foundation. Come ask us questions. We're not afraid of questions. Do research. Do peer-reviewed, like you would be doing at uni. Look for them sort of research. And if all else fails, go on YouTube. Watch Dissociated. Watch Kaya and Co. Watch Multiplicity and Me. Watch Entropy System. We are people at the end of the day. We do have to live our life, but we're always happy to answer respectful questions. This is an opportunity for us to get out there, help our foundation, and help others that might be at uni and being like, I don't know where to go. Because if anything, like our experience of getting told, sorry, you're too complex, we can't help you, that's totally invalidating. It's horrible. It's a horrible feeling. But like I said, we're not out to the tutors, we're not out to the uni as a whole. But we are actually quite afraid to come out fully as a system due to the myths and the misconceptions. Educate people and the lecturers and associates. Like, be curious, ask questions. Don't assume we're not listening if we're staring off into space. There's been times when we're sat in a lecture and we're just staring off because we're dissociating, and we've been called on to answer a question like, I don't know what to say. So yeah, we might be dissociating. Give us time to like come back into the present, as it were. Ask a lot of questions, but remain respectful. This is a fantastic idea, and I'm really honoured to come and help you and come and chat to you both. Be mindful that you don't actually know what's going on in someone's head.
How can the people around you that know, or even people that don't know, do better?
Friends that know are fantastic. Friends that don't know haven't quite grasped the concept. We're a bit like, we just don't talk about it. Our best friend knows, and I think the comment was, well, you're still... But no, we're not. That's the worst thing you can say to us, but we've not broached the subject again because there's no point losing a friendship over it.
Is there anything else you would like to say, or anything you'd like anyone to know about DID?
DID isn't scary. It's, if you come across somebody or your friend says, I've got to talk to you, this is going on with me, don't just discard them. They're still your friend. You've just gained a few extra. That's the best way to look at it. We're not scary, we're not going to hurt you. And if you actually get to know us, we're all different. And yeah, there might be somebody that doesn't like you, you might not like one of the alters, but don't take that out on the person.